Yo, what's going on? This is Ilix Wilder, and this is Wild with Wilder, and we're gonna do another episode, just a quick one, of the road to blue chip. As you guys have been following along, you know that I'm still kind of newish to the VEVE app, to the space, and I am just very excited and I'm very thrilled about everything that's been kind of going on. So, I made my first, I would say, semi-decent step. I don't want to say big. My first medium step to take me out of the lower tier into kind of the mid tier. And I was able to get my first black and white Batman collectible from the Batman series. It's not Batman. I was able to get my first black and white. I got Robin, Damian Wayans version of Robin for the VEVE app. Let's take a look at him really quickly, just so you guys can kind of see. As you can see here, he is fire looking. This is one I've been kind of keeping my eye on a little bit for a lot of reasons. One, I've been wanting to get a black and white collectible for a while, but I know that the really big ones are sort of out of my price range at this point. So I've been doing a little hustling, little bustling, little things on the lower tier level so that I could finally scale up. And yes, if you guys are tuning in for an additional time, you realize that I finally realized that I can keep my videos on these screens as well. So going forward, we're gonna keep me posted. But if you look at him, I love this character in general. As not being the hugest DC comic book reader, but I have read my fair share, I think he's a very wild, kind of crazy character. The son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, grew up in the House of Assassins, and then when he came back, he became another Robin. And the fact that his first appearance is in this black and white phase, I think is super cool. If you see him here in kind of like the DC Universe website, all these different iterations of him. I like this version. This is the I'm blanking on the artist, but you know who the artist is. One of the greatest storytellers like ever did All-Star Superman. Brought his people on to do this run, and this is the iconic run, which I believe is where they're getting this style of version for him as well. So I'm very excited and happy about that. So I was able to get this version of black and white by making a couple of sales. And I had to tell myself, you can't just love the pieces and the collections. You're not at that point yet. So I can't act like a whale. Not yet, because I'm not. I'm like a lot of you guys. I'm scrambling, I'm scrounging, I'm trying to figure out how do I climb up when it seems like I'm so far behind. So I made my little moves. I waited for some stuff to double, and I sold a couple of pieces that if I was in love with the pieces themselves, it might be like, oh, it breaks my heart. I sold my common Voltron, and I sold my uncommon Voltron. Sold both of those, and that was the first almost set that I was close to getting, but I had to tell myself that the goal right now is not to be a collector yet. The goal is to get my gems up and to get into a blue chip status and then build on top of it. So I bought into Voltron at a really good rate. I got both of them below listing price because they were just super low. Like 47 on one. I think even the uncommon was cheaper than the common. But I sold both for over 90 gems. For one of them I sold for 100 and something. One of them I sold for 90 something. And then the other one that I really hate to let go was I sold my common Storm. The reason I did that one is because the pump is happening on Storm right now. A lot of people are just snatching her up because of all the news that's happening and occurring, where the next Black Panther 2 movie is coming out, and she's going to be announced as like the Queen of Wakanda. The rare version is, or ultra rare or rare, is called Storm, Queen of Wakanda. So people are trying to stack their collections so it can make their bags, and I love that. Now, if I had tons of extra gems, if I had a couple thousand, I may be doing the same. but I'm still in the 3-digit range in terms of my gems. So I have to figure out, how do I get from there to the thousands? So I sold all of those guys, and it put me right at where I kind of wanted to be to make my first move. And I was a little bit thinking, I was like, do I get two of like the Adventure Time ones that I know are gonna keep rising? Like Princess Bubblegum looks like it's gonna keep going up. Jake the dog is gonna keep going up. She's uncommon, he's uncommon. But I'm like, I gotta get something a little that has a little bit more cachet. And man, I'm really, really, really glad I did. So I'm on my phone now, and I'm in the VEVE app. And when I look at the collectible, I got the Robin for 270 gems on the dot. And I went ahead and grabbed it because there was one at 267. No, two at 267. And I saw them get bought before my eyes. And there was only two more at 270 because in the floor was super, super thin. After I bought it, the floor went up immediately to 280. And now the floor is at 295 for the buy now. I, in my head, was like, okay, there's not that much to get to 300 floor, and 298 is about what I consider 300. So we have one at 295, one at 296, and then the next is 299, and then you have a bunch of 300. That's what I wanted to see. And I have a feeling that if I stick with this one for like 30 days, let me watch, see what the market does, I may be in a place where it's gonna keep growing. And some of the other pieces that I bought low, I'll be able to we'll be in that pumping phase. Because as we're seeing, people are jumping in, more people are coming, and they're just looking for stuff to buy. So I'm trying to buy my way to the blue chip status. That's the point of this series. Road to blue chip on the VEVE app. Hope I made the right decision. I think I did, because I still have a couple of rare pieces that I picked up. I have my first ultra rare comic that I picked up on Friday, so 2 days ago. And I'm slowly making my way. So eventually, with my next big move that I'll probably talk about, and it's big for me, keep that in mind, I'm hoping that I'm gonna be in the 1,000 range, and then that's when I'm gonna slowly start, okay, now here we're at the incline. How can we hurry up and get a blue chip piece before they're out of reach? Because it only takes 1 to be in the game, and then 2 to actually make that bag. And then I can do a lot more with it. So I'm understanding a little bit more. I'm listening. I'm hopping into VEVE Spaces on Twitter, which I think everybody should do because it's just fantastic information. You can see insight of how people who were in it in April really felt when they were collecting, what they wish they had done. And I'm not even talking. I'm just sitting, I'm listening, I'm absorbing. And for a lot of the collectors here who have their own channels, yes, I do watch your stuff as well. So thank you for some of that insight. I've yet to win a drop. I don't think I'm ever going to win a drop. I tried this morning and it just wasn't even close. Like the app, after my first attempt, it didn't even let me try for the rebound. It just kept spinning. It's just like, sorry, son, you need to get out of there. So this is my first celebration. That's why I'm wearing black for my black and white get. I'm so hyped that I got this Robin, Damian Wayne's, son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, not blue chip. I want to say blue chip so bad, but like this one I thought was probably the best bang for my buck. I think 300 price is inevitable. It's probably going to get into the 4s, and that's when I'm going to be having my fingers crossed to see if it's going to stagnate, go back down, or actually do some action. Probably check back in 30 days to see what this one is doing. In the meantime, there's some low stuff out there. There's some cheap stuff out there, and I truly believe that we can all do this with just a little bit of capital. I could have done this with less investment if I knew a little bit more, but right now the upside is so humongous. The newness of things, the ability and ease of use is so big that I'm hoping that this is going to be the first big step towards me being a part of slightly better conversations. How do I get to the 1,000 range? Then how do I get to the 5-digit range? Then the 6-digit range. It's just a slow, steady, step-by-step piece on my road to blue chip. So once again, I'm Ilex Wilder, Wild with Wilder, and this is the road to blue chip. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.